Hello, sixth graders. This is the in-class information video for Wednesday, September 30th and Thursday, October 1st. So this is what we did in class or are doing in class today. I'm going to open up the in-class material. You'll notice that there's a PDF if you do not have yours from the packet. You can open it up, you can write on it and move it into Notability. Okay, this is what it looks like. There are 8 maps, and we're going to be looking at each one of those maps through a slideshow. Okay, and I'm going to open up the slideshow because that's what we did in class. We went through the slideshow together. So as you notice on your worksheet, it says what's the type of map, and then it says kind of your reasoning for why you think it's that type of map. We're going to change the question. So each of these slides has a different question that I want you to write the answer to on the line. In class, we are doing this together. Some of them you'll do on your own and then we'll share as a class. Some of them we will just all do together. So let's start with number 1. What type of map do you think this map actually is? This is a resource map. And then the question is, why do you think most of the mineral resources are found in the western U.S.? So when we look at our map key, we can see at the different types of minerals. These are all different types of minerals here. We find them in the western area. So think about what you already know about the west of the United States. Why might we find a lot of minerals there? Your answer should be something in regards to the mountains, the high hills. That is really strong an area for finding those minerals. So that would be somewhere in your answer. So let's look at map number 2. What type of map do you think map number 2 is? Map number 2 is a political map. And then it asks you to compare and contrast the countries of Greece and Italy. So there's arrows that are pointing to them. Here's Italy, the yellow, and here's Greece, the red. We're going to talk about those two countries this school year. It says use size, location, and formation of the land. So some similarities when we look at, they both have islands off of them. You see the yellow islands here. You see the red islands here for Greece. They're both peninsulas, so they have water on 3 sides. Okay. Italy would be a larger mass of land, and Greece would be smaller. We can see that they use, they border other countries, so it's not an island. They have borders of other countries. We could say that they're both in Europe, the continent of Europe. So those are some similarities. When we look at differences, we can look at size. We can't tell population from this map, even though it's called a political map, that doesn't tell us population. So we can say that they are in the northern hemisphere, and we know where Europe is. And they're jagged, rugged land in regards to they're jetting out into the bodies of water around them. So those are some similarities and differences when we use our comparison looking at this map in those two countries. Looking at the next map, number 3. What type of map is this? Yes, this is a topography map. Okay, what do you notice about the elevation at the Hannegan Peak? So this shows us right here, the Hannegan Peak. What do you notice about the elevation? Okay, so we can see that the lines are really close together. Remember that topography, those lines are really close together when they're really, really steep. So this must tell us that it's really steep. And then when we get to the top, look at how separated those lines are. So there must be some type of plateau at the top of Hannegan Peak. So that's what we can learn about this map. We can see that there's Granite Peak or Granite Mountain here. Looks like there's a river, Ruth Creek, running through. So this looks like a very interesting area. Let's go to map number 4. Map number 4, what type of map is this? This is a good one to use your map key to figure out what type of map it is. Obviously, these maps do not have map titles because that would really kind of give it away. So this one in our map key, it says soil organic carbon mass. So we can tell that this must be some form of resource map. And when we look at this, it says describe where the soil in Canada is higher in organic carbon mass. Think about what all these areas have in common. So when we look at this map, we can look at the carbon mass, the organic carbon mass down here, and look at where it's higher. So we have to use our scale to help us with this. Lower is blue, red is higher. So we see all these areas of red. What do we notice? They're right around these bodies of water. Okay, so that's what they would have in common. And we can describe them near the bodies of water. When we look here, this is lower carbon mass because of the color. We see our Great Lakes here, and we can tell that it's higher organic carbon mass. So that's what they have in common. Let's go to map 5. Looking at map 5, what type of map is map 5? As you can tell, map 5 is a climate map. It says annual precipitation, so that has to do with climate. The question is, if the Amazon rainforest is located in Brazil, how does this data prove the climate of the rainforest? Remember, a rainforest has warm and wet climate. So I've shown you a picture of where Brazil is, if you did not know where Brazil is, in South America. So this is the area of Brazil. We have some yellows, we have some greens, we have blues, and then we even have some dark blues in there. So when we look at precipitation in centimeters, the yellow is 25 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 150, 150 to 200, and even up to over 200. So we can tell that that must be a very wet area, and that's why we can prove that this would be a wet climate. And that's why we can prove the data correctly, that this would be in that rainforest area and have wet, warm climate. Let's go to map number 6. What type of map is number 6? It looks like a little busyness going on here. Map number 6 would be a road map, of course. So we can see all of the roads. And the question is, where does the data show the major intersections connect? So where do they meet? Where do they come together? We see lots of roads in here. We see lots of roads coming together here. This is the state of Ohio, as we can tell. A lot right here. I see the word Cleveland, Ohio. So we can probably infer that these roads connect in the bigger cities, okay, the larger cities of Ohio. So they all converge, they're all spread out, and then they converge in those bigger cities where they have the higher population. Let's go to map number 7. Look at map number 7. What type of map is number 7? Map number 7 is a physical map. The bottom is hard to read. The key is a little bit hard to read, but we know a lot of times with those browns all the way down to the greens, higher level above sea level is the browns all the way down to the greens, or even those whiter colors, and then we go to the blues in the sea level area. Okay. So the question is, China has a high population. Where do you think most people live? Okay, so where do you think most people live? In a higher populated area. Do you think they live in the mountains, or do you think they live in the more lower lands? Yeah, of course, they'd live in the lower lands. They would not be highly populated in the mountain regions. They would be more populated in the lower lands, so where it's green, even where it's white. All right, last map, map number 8. What type of map is map number 8? I hope you guessed or knew climate map. Yes, this is a climate map. Again, average annual, this time sunshine. We love that. Annual means year. In what 2 states does the sun shine the most? And in what 2 states does it sunshine the least? So when we look at our map key, more than 4,000 hours of sunshine per year, annually per year, is red, all the way down to blue, 1,600 to 2,000 hours per year. So those are the colors that we're looking for the most is red. So we can say right in this area of Phoenix, okay, in the southern part of Los Angeles, maybe San Diego area. And then when we look at the least, we'd have right up in this area in New Hampshire. Okay, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, right in this area here. We can also see in Seattle, has some blue, not a lot of sunshine there, less than maybe anywhere between 1,600 to 2,000 hours of sunshine per year. Okay, so up in Seattle, Washington. So that's what we did in class today. Looked at this slideshow and went over the different types of maps. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.